Another episode of Cloud Talk Live. My name is Jeff DeVerter, and I'm so glad that you're here at another episode of Cloud Talk Live. Well, everyone, again, my name is Jeff DeVerter. I'm the Chief Technology Evangelist for us here at Rackspace Technology, and welcome. We're back. I know, it's been sort of a weird year so far this year. We're here, we're not here. I was sick last week, and so we pushed last week's episode to this one. You're going to love it. But first of all, folks, as you just saw pop across the bottom of the screen, I'd love for you to introduce yourselves. Tell us who you are. Tell us where you are in the world. This is a global audience. Let's impress Seb as he comes up on stage here with how many folks we have all over the place. Now, if you want to get a hold of us outside of this program, of course, just do what the little thing says down below, and that is send an email to solve@rackspace.com. That email is going to show up to the whole production team over here, and we'll make sure that we get back with you in short order. Maybe you have some ideas about another episode. Maybe you have some feedback about this episode. We'll go ahead and send that over to solve@rackspace.com. Now, you're probably watching this out on LinkedIn. That would be my guess. If we're not already best friends on LinkedIn, I would love for you to find me there, maybe after the fact. And super easy, just the first character of my name, J, and then Diverter. Over on LinkedIn. So let's friend up over there. There's all sorts of content showing up. Obviously, you found us here on rackspace.com on our webpage there on LinkedIn. But if you find me on LinkedIn, then of course you'll be able to hear about all the things that are going on now. This live stream, hey Michael from Houston, glad that you are here. This live stream becomes part of the podcast stream that shows up where our podcast, inside of our podcast stream. So if you're not already following us, well, go ahead and make sure that you do that wherever you find podcasts. Now, I've been a little bit remiss in getting some of the content out this year that needs to be out there. So this week is dump week. It sounds sort of odd, but I'm going to put all sorts of content out there as well. So make sure that you are you're subscribed to that podcast. Just look for Cloud Talk and you'll find all of the amazing content there. And that's not all the free stuff that we have for you, folks. Just head over to rackspace.com/solve because this program is part of what we call our thought leadership program here at Rackspace. And that program is called Solve. So rackspace.com/solve, you'll find all sorts of articles that are over there. You'll also find our research that we do every quarter. Folks, we got some great stuff. We're going to start reviewing that internally today. The Q1 research is back in. We're starting to write the white paper. It's going to be an amazing episode coming up in April. We'll do our Solve Summit again, so keep an eye out for when that is. And, excuse me, as you can hear, I keep coughing, and that's because this time last week, I was just laying in bed, not a happy camper, because I was out at Rackspace's sales kickoff the week before that. So about 2 weeks ago, we were up in Dallas. It was an amazing event, and I got to know a racker who I should have known. Now, he doesn't actually work for Rackspace anymore because here at Rackspace, you're not just an ex-racker. You once a racker, always a racker. Well, he has gone on to some amazing things. And I'm talking, of course, about my guest for today, and that is Sebastian Machado. His friends call him Seb, so hopefully he'll let me do that as well. And he is an Alliance go-to-market manager, partner, a king of the world over at AWS. He'll introduce himself so much better than I will. We're coming to you live here today, just a little bit later than we normally do, because Seb, well, he's out in the West Coast. And we were trying to be a little bit kind to him as not make him get up quite as early as he'd have to. But Seb, I'd love to welcome you to your first and not only time, of course, but first time to Cloud Talk Live.
Good morning, Jeff. Good morning, all. Thanks for having me today.
Oh, so glad that you are here. And we got to know each other out at the sales kickoff there in Dallas. We both brought home a guest that we did not want to have, and that was, of course, that sickness that seemed to get spread around there. We had our own little special super spreader event, but we're back to life now and here to share what's going on in the world of AWS.
Absolutely, and Jeff, it's been an incredible journey, as you said, that started out at Rackspace for me many years ago, and today in my role as a principal partner development manager at AWS, one of the things that I help do is strategic partners, much like Rackspace, really develop their own little piece in this journey that's playing out in front of us in the world of digital transformation. And as we've seen customers go through this journey, everyone has their own unique flavor of it. And there's a lot of complexity at the end of the day. We're trying to help our customers move from this place of where they are today to modern and what good looks like, and helping them really reinvent and rediscover ways to engage their customers, to go to market, to leverage their data, to do unique and incredible things. And through all of that journey, right, our goal here is to help our customers simplify the way that they transform their business, the way they engage their customers and run their businesses, and whatever we can support as partners to leverage the incredible capabilities of the AWS platform alongside the incredible capabilities of our service provider partners like Rackspace to go simplify that journey and help bring the convergence of business and technology together in a unique way for our customers. That's really our goal.
Awesome. And it's a great goal. Now, in our conversation that we had when we were up in Dallas, we were talking a little bit about, this journey into utilizing technology like what AWS brings to market is not a one-stop, endeavor. It's not hey, every 3 years it's time to upgrade some infrastructure and move on. And a lot of what we want to talk about, even as we talk about it this year throughout all of 2024, in fact, we started colloquially calling this as the kickoff episode to the Road to reInvent. I can't believe here we are in February talking about what will be the reInvent conference coming up in this November/December. Always seems to spread across those 2 months. But before we talk about this coming year, what caught your attention as the part of this company that is leading the charge in companies transforming who they are through modern technology? But what caught your attention at reInvent 2023?
Yeah, reInvent is always a magical time where we share with the world all the comings that we've been working on throughout the year, an incredible amount of innovation and new features and functionality. And we really do focus the vast majority of our energy at AWS on building things that our customers are looking for. And at the end of the day, what really dominated the stage this year at reInvent, and obviously the hot topic across so much in the world that we live in today, is centered around generative AI. And it's one of those really, really cool topics. But at the core of everything that relates to AI and generative AI is a story around data. And the ability for our customers to leverage their data to do very, very cool new things internally in terms of the way that they run their business and leverage their internal resources, as well as engaging with their customers and the way they go to market, the way that they market to their customers, the way that they create new products, and ultimately the way that people are consuming the world that we live in today is unique and it's different. And so customers really around the world are trying to find a way to revolutionize the way that they are engaging with their customers and they operate their business. And it's been an incredible run, but I think the generative AI conversation is one that's going to continue to develop. And with Rackspace in particular, we've got some incredible stories of stuff that we're doing with customers. And it really all starts with that capability of understanding and getting your fingers into the data and being able to leverage it in cool new ways.
Yeah. Now, as you're talking about, the fact that, of course, generative AI are solutions that spring up and eat and feed on a company's organizational data. But I've got this vision of me when I was like 5, and it was the first time I'd gone to the big pool. And the big pool had a nice, easy way to get into it and get started. And that's where my mom said I had to start. But I saw the high dive, and the high dive looked like a lot of fun. But it was in the deep end of the pool, Seb. I don't feel like most companies really want to start in the deep end of the pool. In fact, as we were talking, AWS really has a solid, I love a good 3-step. We're going to talk about a 3-step at Rackspace later on. We're in Texas. Texas loves a 2-step. But when we talk about this type of transformation, it's a 3-step. And that is, how does a company go from servers on-prem to swimming in the deep end of AI? And it starts with let's itemize out what these steps are, and then we're going to unpack what each one of them are. So go ahead and lead us through.
Yeah, the journey, like I said earlier, it's going to be unique for every customer, right? And the nirvana, the end stage of what amazing looks like, obviously is going to have variables along the way, but there are three certain core steps that really all enterprises are going to engage in. They're going to walk through as part of this journey. And it starts with the migration, right? So infrastructure living in the data center. And this is one of those things that there are a few companies out there that truly understand the data center like Rackspace does. But it is absolutely a place where we have to start with getting to the cloud as a step one.
Right. If we're gonna make use of the amazing things of AWS, you got to get into AWS first of all, and that starts with the migration. And it's a simple word, migrate, but there's a lot of steps along the way too, to make that actually happen. And one of my favorite is the fact that before you can actually pick something up and move it, you have to identify, you have to catalog what that stuff is. And it can actually be a pretty challenging step, can it, Seb? Because most companies over the decades, in a lot of cases for these organizations, have accumulated an awful lot of servers, an awful lot of applications, and they don't necessarily have a good finger on the pulse of what's running in the data center.
Absolutely. We talk a lot about technical debt. And that revolves around a whole lot of different things. But at the end of the day, we've accumulated a whole lot of infrastructure, a whole lot of processes, a whole lot of applications, et cetera, that if we're looking to transform the way that we're using technology, starts with getting it to the cloud as a step one. And the complexity, as you mentioned, of understanding the dependencies between applications and workloads and how they impact the business. There's a whole lot to unpack in all of that, and that's part of the journey is ensuring that as we go down this path together, that we leverage partners like Rackspace to help our customers uncover the gotchas along this journey, to help make sure that we're preparing and planning to execute down this path the best way possible. And as we move down the migration path and we set up ultimately the new landing zone of where the application infrastructures, et cetera, are going to live. Yeah. We always want to make sure that we're continually pushing the next chapter of this journey for our customers and helping them not only get to AWS and ensure that the applications and data are in a place where we can then start the next step in that journey, which is really around the whole modernization conversation.
That's right. Now, it can be a pet peeve of mine, as I've seen so many companies who have they've heard the pitch. They understand fundamentally that it's a migrate and a modernize, and then you can really start to swim in that deep end. And we'll talk about that a little bit more in a minute. But so many people stop. So many people stop at the migration. And what they ultimately have then is the VMs that they had on-prem are now running, by and large, 80% wise, as VMs inside of AWS. And that's not to say that there isn't value in the fact that they have modernized their infrastructure, because it's not like a one-for-one on the server side. You guys have a couple hundred, choices of VMs that exist out there. And so tuning and getting the exact right a bit of infrastructure to run these applications, there's value there. There's value in these groups that will expand and contract. There's value in being able to use, the overarching security that can now look at those VMs, but it's not all the value that exists inside of AWS. In fact, it's barely scratching the surface.
Yeah, Jeff, that's right. We are very proud to say that we offer the most flavors, the most flexibility and choice for our customers to ensure that they are building infrastructure that aligns to the use case and the need for the specific applications. But really, as you're moving down this journey and you start saying, how do I get more out of my investment in the cloud, out of AWS? There's a modern way that we encourage our customers to build applications, and a lot of that revolves around using modern application stack, and it's about helping customers decouple their applications and remove risk from the application. At the core of all of this is driving a story that allows our customers to both innovate and scale their business and be agile at the same time. Right, we're coming out of this world where we lived through a pandemic, and the impact of change on the way that businesses were running, and the need for technology to help enable a very quick pivot in terms of how we operate and how we continue going forward as businesses was incredibly difficult for a lot of customers. And That's the place where when you start leveraging modern technologies such as container-based application services, and you start looking at purpose-built database options that AWS provides, you start building your applications in a way that ultimately you're optimizing the way that you grow your business as you move forward. And that's the one common thing that we're hearing a lot from our customers today, is that the optimization piece in terms of how they leverage AWS, it's a continuous journey, right? And so we're always making sure that as we migrate and as we modernize and as we get our fingers and we capture and harness our data, there's a continuous focus on iterating and improving and ensuring that we're optimizing the journey. But as a starting point with all of that, right, understanding how we build applications in a way that allows us to leverage containerized workloads and CI/CD pipelines, and really puts our path of development and innovation with customers on a new level that helps unlock value from the cloud in different ways.
Yeah, now you're digging into some really important aspects of what is meant inside of that whole modernize process. And the thing that gets important is to really remember also, folks, is that while we're talking about these as discrete periods of time or steps that might be along the way, there really should be thought more about zones that you exist in that you are continually doing this work in. For instance, let's say you go through that migrate process, and now once your core applications or the main ones you wanted to get moved in are through that process, you can now start to undergo that modernization process. That modernization process has to do with the technology you're using as well as the way your organization operates. So there's a lot of change that's going to happen, and there really is no end to that change, because I'll tell you what, Seb would be the first one to raise his hand and say, we're going to reinvent 2024, and there's going to be a million more things we're going to release that people will get to modernize their continued modernizing steps for these applications. So it is a constant evolution. Now, throughout this whole year of 2024, we're talking about these three primary areas, but we're going to be digging in and unpacking deeper, specific to AWS, what it means to do these three steps, and some specific examples as well. So you're going to want to stick around. AWS Tuesday will be the second Tuesday of the month going forward. It would have been last week, but Seb and I were both sick. But Seb, that's not the last step. So once we get into AWS, once we start to modernize our applications and our data, it allows us to do some really interesting things with that data. So let's talk about that third step.
Absolutely. And this is really the place where I think businesses have a very unique opportunity today to start digging into ways that they can leverage their data. And this is a place where Rackspace can come in, and obviously with expertise in multi-cloud environments and hybrid environments, and helping customers getting getting visibility and understanding where the data lives and the different types of data stores that are out there. AWS is continually pushing the boundaries in terms of where we can leverage our technology to help our customers. And so using analytics products on AWS and getting visibility and observability into our data stores is now giving our customers the platform where we can start putting this together in unique and creative ways. We can start using generative AI technologies such as Bedrock and Q and large language models to start introducing ways that are really changing the way that like I mentioned earlier, customers are both running their business as well as engaging their customers. And it is a continuous journey, right? At the end of the day, we've got to make sure that through every step of the way that we're continually focused on what our customers' goals are, on what good looks like, and that we've got alignment and agreement and how we're working together to accomplish our customers' end goals.
That's right. That's right. So, as I was just mentioning before, this whole process doesn't really have an ending. You just want to get into a zone where you are the most efficient with your infrastructure that you're getting from AWS, that you are getting the most power out of the infrastructure that you have with AWS. And then, of course, lastly, that your business is transforming through the power of the technology that AWS brings to market. Because that really should be, as you start to create a barometer, a thermometer of what's happening inside of your organization as to the success or lack thereof, it shouldn't just be, what does my bill look like? That's an input. The real input should be, what does the P&L look like? Because are we making a significant impact in our customer satisfaction, in our sales, and in our customer retention through the use of this technology? Seb, you and I are both technologists. We would both get up early in the morning to get to play with the new technology for technology's sake. But it's here to transform businesses and to help them be more efficient and more successful, profit and nonprofit alike. Should be getting the benefits out of this. And so, Seb, I'm so excited about 2024 here and what we're going to get to unpack together through these AWS Tuesdays, second Tuesdays of the month, as you, yourself, and others from AWS will be here to help us really get a picture of what good looks like and how to achieve that through AWS.
Awesome. Love it. And the last thing I'll share, Jeff and team, that there's a lot of incredible examples of what transformation looks like. And one of those is sitting with us today, right? And Rackspace themselves is an incredible example. We're all going through this journey together, right? AWS is on a constant mission to evolve and change the way that we operate so that we can serve our customers better. Rackspace is as well. Rackspace has done some incredible things in transforming their own business, leveraging the AWS platform so that they can support their customers better. And ultimately, together, we can drive this story in a unique and special way for our end customers, just the same as we do for ourselves. And so we welcome you on this journey together. I thank everybody for having me and for the time this morning, and looking forward to continuing this throughout the year as we dive deeper into the migrate and modernize and capture your data journey with you.
Capture data. It's going to be a great year, everyone. I'd love for you to be a part of all of these. And as we finish up on this section, folks, you've been a quiet group today, the quietest I may have ever seen. But I would love for you to, just in the comments, where by and large is your organization in this journey? Still in the migrate phase? That's okay. Are you starting to modernize? Are you starting to dig and make use of the data? Or does your organization and different departments exist across all three? Let us know in the comments below. We'd just be curious to see that. Well, Seb, thanks for getting up early with us. And we look forward to, of course, our continued journey with AWS, but of course, our partnership in being able to help companies in their own journey.
Thanks, team.
All right. Have a great rest of your day, Seb. Folks, if you are already not great friends with Seb on the LinkedIn, then I would encourage you to go be his good friend, because they're posting some great information out there. Get to know him over on LinkedIn. You can see he is /Sebastian Machado. That's what his page looks like over on, where's my finger? That's a funny question to have on LinkedIn. So go ahead and check that out. Seb's a great guy. All right. Also, folks, I want to remind you that we are not done here today yet. That you can find all sorts of great information. You thought this was good? Head over to rackspace.com/solve, and you will you get access for free. Nothing, no charge over there. No pop-ups trying to sell you something. Excuse me. But you'll get access to all of our articles. We're posting stuff there every single week. You'll get access to our research, completely free. And we go out and talk to over 1,400 IT decision makers. Go check that stuff out. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast as well. And going to be a big dump of content this week. So get ready for that. You'll have all sorts of stuff to get to listen to. Well, folks, as we talked about with Seb here briefly, Rackspace has, we've been digging deep into what's happening in and around AI. In fact, we have stood up our own offering inside of Rackspace, and we are helping companies accelerate their journey with generative AI through what we call FAIR, or the Foundry for AI, here at Rackspace. And I want to take you through how we see companies going through this process. First of all, what are the benefits of going through and utilizing generative AI? Well, we're going to call out 4 of them right here. Greater creativity. Folks, I'm a creative person, whether it's the music instruments you see behind me, whether that is art, whether that is through the words that we're using here, but I am much better when I'm utilizing AI to do the things that I do. Also, we're utilizing AI to help reduce errors. Think about, there are so many different areas inside of organizations that are prone to errors because of quality control and a million other areas. AI is helping reduce that problem. Also, note Daniel reminding me that the QR code is in the upper corner. And that will take you to all things about what I'm talking about. Third area, increased productivity of knowledge workers. If you're watching this with me, we're knowledge workers, folks. We sit in front of computers and we use it to do our job. AI can help you on a day-to-day basis. And then, of course, optimizing your costs through event-driven automation. Folks, as I mentioned, we do this through an offering here at Rackspace called the Foundry for AI at Rackspace. And we call it a foundry for a very specific reason. Folks, think about what a foundry is. It is a place where artisans bring raw materials together to create amazing things. And that's exactly what we're doing by bringing the raw materials of your organization's data together to create solutions through the process that we call ideate, incubate, and industrialize. I'll tell you a little bit more about that in just one second. But when we create these AI solutions, we believe that we shouldn't just be creating AI, but we should be creating solutions that are responsible. Now, here at Rackspace, we believe that responsible AI solutions have three primary characteristics. First of all, symbiotic. We believe that AI is not here to replace humans. AI is here to work alongside humans in a symbiotic fashion, to be coexistence and to be safe. Second, AI must, above all else, be secure. When we bring data together, the amount of data that's required to create AI solutions, security has to be at the top of that list. These attack surfaces that can be viewed as being created or brought together have got to be secure. And that is the second tenet in responsible AI. And then, of course, the third, AI should be sustainable. These solutions need to not necessarily be science projects that are there for organizations to hopefully try to figure out how to maintain. They've got to be able to maintain them. We've got to be able to bring solutions together that help companies make smarter decisions that are not just good for themselves, but for good for the world. So these three areas are what bring together responsible AI: sustainable, symbiotic, and of course, secure. Now, the way that we do that here at Rackspace is through a three-step process. I love a good three-step process. We talked about AWS's three-step process for adopting their technology. Let's talk about how we use it to adopt AI here at Rackspace. First of all, it starts with a conversation, in an ideate conversation, and that is figuring out the desirability. How is AI going to be utilized to make a difference in your organization through a 2 to 4 week engagement where we bring our smart people to talk to your smart people, whether that's physically or virtually. And we come together and we put together a plan for a couple of solutions that could make a great impact on your organization. Next step on the process, of course, is the incubate process, where we take the plan created in Ideate and we turn it into an MVP. We get a core group of your individuals, your organization, actually utilizing that live solution to make sure that it has the outcomes that are expected. We make any changes we need to, and then we industrialize that solution and make it available for your entire organization, whether that's internal, whether that is your customers, or some combination thereof. Folks, that is the process that Rackspace takes organizations through. You want to learn more about that? Well, just click on the QR code that is up in the corner of the screen, or you can just head over to fair.rackspace.com. You're going to learn about all the things that we're doing. You're going to see customer examples that are there as well. If you want to just learn some more information about us in a layer touch fashion, you can go and read about us over on LinkedIn. Just head over to our showcase page that is the Foundry for Generative AI. You see it listed there on your screen. And we'd be happy to help you out with anything that we can do there. Folks, I'm so glad that you joined us in this journey here this morning, talking with Sebastian about the process for AWS and adopting their technologies there. Also, how Rackspace might be able to help you in your generative AI journey. So just scan that QR code and we're on your way. Folks, we are back here next week. I think our show's going to be on Monday, so I hope you're ready for that change of plan. Apparently 2024 means we're going to be a little more flexible with when we're live. Actually, I'm on a plane on Tuesday, so it has to be Monday. All right, join us then, and we'll be back to talk about AI, but where we talk about how we can implement private AI solutions utilizing dedicated infrastructure, and how to keep those secure solutions that you want to create AI for as secure as possible. Folks, my name is Jeff DeVerter. I'm the Chief Technology Evangelist for us here at Rackspace Technology, and it's been my pleasure to be with you here today, and I look forward to seeing you next week as well.